And we're live. Hello to anyone watching this in the future. You're watching a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet. You can find them at gauntlet-rpg.com. Do you know what they are? If not, they're a community on the internet that plays tabletop games, role-playing games together, not just tabletop games, because I don't know how you do that online. There are ways probably, but it's not the same. Role-playing games, it's different, but it's also really good. That's why the Gauntlet does it. They're cool. Gauntlet-rpg.com. Check them down below. They do a lot of stuff. There's their busy blogs, forums, their podcasts, their monthly zine, and the Hangouts calendar, which is kind of the main one. Averaging around 200 game sessions every month, close to 200. This one of those games arranged through there. This is part 3 of our play of Heart, the City Beneath. Heart, I should pronounce that differently. Heart, the City Beneath by Grant Howitt and Christopher Taylor. It is their dungeon delving, dungeon crawling game into the weird eccentric space that is the Heart, part of the universe of Spire. And we're about to bring this story to its nice, wholesome conclusion where everyone sits down, drinks tea and talks about how they maturely solve their problems. That's totally what's going to happen. Yeah, obviously, I have faith in everyone. So let's kind of introduce characters we have for today. We'll start with the order character keeper from the left. So, I'd like for yourself to introduce yourself, pronouns, and your character, and a cool thing they did last session. So we'll start with you, Gabriel.
All right, I'm Gabriel. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Maeglin, they, them. They're a junk mage, so kind of like a homeless wizard who collects scraps of magic items and kind of devours them, and is seeking the song of the heart. It's kind of going further down and trying to find out what weirdness and magic powers down there. Last session, I ended up fulfilling one of my bonds and eating some meat of a creature from the heart, and having some weird fallout from that. I also been having fun with opening this portal to temples of the old gods and managed to open that in the middle of a monster, and that was really interesting. So lots of weird stuff.
Yeah, that move, as written, was probably not intended to be an offensive maneuver, but
Right.
yeah, that's the caliber you'd expect from these players. And again, I'm hoping tea party, just a nice gentle tea party, maybe not. Well, I don't know. Maybe the next character would let. No, she wouldn't. She really wouldn't. Patrick, tell us about yourself and this character.
So I'm Patrick, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Seraphine Grimm, she, her. She's the witch class and the Enlightenment calling. She's down here seeking secrets and knowledge and dead gods and whatnot. Sort of like cool thing I did last time was I, out of character, sort of decided on what the Enlightenment path was and what she was going for, and talked to a priestess of the god of corpses, the corpse god of corpses, about that, and that's that Seraphine believes that the heart itself is like the last remnant of the goddess of magic that has been dead for forever, and that if she can find a way to bring the goddess back to her heart, resurrect her in some way, then obviously Seraphine will be made her walking avatar to live in power and glory for all of eternity or whatever, something like that. It'll be great. Lots of magic. It'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be grand. It'll be fine. It'll be. Oh boy. All right, he'll be fine. And last but not least, new character coming in today. Much like every time we have a new character, ask you to describe yourself, pronouns, and your character. Just give us the pitch and tell us a cool thing they did. Which obviously they've done cool things. They're unless you decided they're not cool. I should have decided if they're cool for you. But if they are cool, tell us a cool thing they did. Even off screen, doesn't matter.
Well, it has to be off screen. Okay, I'm Ludo, I go by any pronouns, and I'll be playing the legendary Tunnel Crow that goes by them, they pronouns. They are definitely a legendary Vermissian knight going through the liminal spaces, and they are definitely not the 3-foot hunted crow that is using a train plate and an armored mask as its human disguise. Uh, and you probably heard about them from the epic ballad of the Tunnel Crow and the Trash Dragon, which was definitely a dragon and not some gigantic 10-12 foot mouse mutated by proximity of the heart or something. It was definitely a dragon. And they have been currently going between the strange dimensions that permeate the Vermissian and that get more and more corrupted and twisted when gets to the heart. And they made a quick stop to buy information, and they have recently learned about a powerful poem that people cannot resist but to repeat and love. And as someone now is looking to increase their fame and glory, the Eternal Cloud decides that this is how people will know them if they bind their own story to the poem.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a cluster shard of epic proportions. Oh my god. So as always, Tea Party will be there. It's like a nuclear option. I'm gonna put in like an imaginary briefcase off to the side, and I'm gonna railroad you. No, I'm not gonna do that. All right. So before we jump to the game proper, let's talk about safety tools that we're using for today. Just like remind folks of what we have to make sure folks are playing in a comfortable environment. Um, so we start with our lines and veils. Remind our players that we have lines and veils in the character keeper. Lines are things that won't be crossed, just won't show up in the fiction at all, so it's not up for debate. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not going to concentrate on it. Like we'll fast forward over it, or it happens off screen, or the camera just won't focus on it. It can still happen in fiction, but it's not like a focal point we'll look at. We also are using the X card, which basically means that it's a tool for like if we do roll into a scene that makes folks uncomfortable for whatever reason, and any reason's perfectly fine. You don't need to explain it. You can say you want to use the X card or X card that. You can do that on the screen or on the chat or on the roll for your party. There's a button there. I might ask some questions on what elements being X carded, but no one gets the question if the card is played. It's played. It happens, and we'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy. If for whatever reason folks need to step away from the table for any reason, could be there's an emergency you need to take care of, or you're just more tired than you thought and you need to lie down, or you really need to go, bodily functions and all that. You can call for a break at any time. We'll pause the game and we'll accommodate yourself. Okay, so last time we saw our group, who, if you don't know Ludo, they were on a train. They were in a train. It was a Vermissian train that's been retrofitted with blood magic. So instead of on a rail, it's kind of creating its own rail with blood. And it was very heretical. And don't worry, we're not lacking. The crew is not lacking in blood at the moment. And we just left off a fairly big encounter with a heart's blood creature, which the train was used against it. It was a combination portal and train attack, which was very nice. And we're chugging along, and I think the approach to the red market. I'll ask. You know what? I'll ask each of you. Tunnel Crow, you're already there, but I'll ask both Meglin and Seraphine what do they know of the red market? Like, what's a rumor they've heard about the place?
I guess I have one where it's rumored you can kind of get anything you want for price, and often that is a great cost to yourself. So probably literally like some of your blood or flesh or part of your mind, your memories. So definitely some kind of scary implications of that.
I think as part of like one of the nodes of the heart, there are like quote unquote vessels that tunnels that flood in and out of here, and sometimes they bring with them a like weird magic blood tied with them that when it recedes it like leaves things behind that then people scavenge and sell at the market.
Yeah. What about you, Tunnel Crow? I know you're already there, but before getting there, what's a rumor you heard about the red market?
I heard that the merchants can never leave the red market. Not that many would want to, but it seems that there is an imposition that anything traded on the red markets, no matter how insubstantial it is, can be converted into silver that bears a special stamp. And anything with that stamp also becomes silver. The thing is, all the merchants have that stamp on their palm.
We'll see if these rumors are borne out. All right, so this train's going through, tunnel out of the weird, ashy dust land full of heart's blood corpses, leaving behind Calix's exes. Also, to remind the train party that you now have a dead drow. You've got the unconscious other Vermissian knight, Cauldron. You've got a lot of blood from the Heart's Blood thing. Calix's hiding downstairs. I think that's what she said. Downstairs. Is there even a downstairs here? Maybe. Yeah. And I think you head down this tunnel and like abruptly the tunnel's walls just turn to curtains. Like these red fluttering curtains. Just swaying in some sort of breeze. Not the breeze that the train makes when you pass by, but it's like they're swaying to their own pattern, to their own wind, so to speak. It's like you've wandered into an early Tony Scott movie. That's a terrible reference. Yeah, so there's just like a lot of curtains, and it feels like the tunnel is like closing in, squeezing the train between the curtains, and for a moment it feels like the train accelerates in response to this, and it's accelerating toward this like bright point in the distance as kind of like the curtains flutter around you, like this, like the movement of my fingers there. Yeah, there we go. And for a moment it feels like you're there for like ages and ages until suddenly you shoot out and you're in a small space. These what looks like a small space, barely taller than the train. You just shoot out and you just kind of stop. It's almost like you're on a train stop, and you just see like a corridors coming into this small square where there's like a bunch of folk milling around. There's again lanterns and curtains of red cloth on these streets. Welcome to the red market. I think Tunnel Crow, will you be there to see this train arrive?
I guess they are probably causing a lot of chaos. I mean, approaching in the torrent of blood. So I guess pretty much everyone is looking at it. I mean, probably not leaving their shops and stalls unattended, but just enough to look what the hell is causing all this commotion.
Yeah. I'll ask a detail again from Meglin and Serafine while I link Steven to this hangout. Who just contacted me at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, it's a small enclosed space, but yeah, there's stalls. You can see corridors. You know, the thing you notice that this place is kind of cramped. Looks like a what's the domain? A warren, so to speak. And there's like these shaking lanterns casting like spotlights on the streets. But yeah, what's like a detail you notice for each character?
I guess with the Warrens, there's a lot of sort of like scaffolding to fill the space. So there's like stalls stacked on top of stalls, and everything's just very ramshackle, and it's kind of built on top of itself over time. The different layers going on.
I think they're weird, like largish, spiky red rats that sort of run around in packs around the market.
Ooh.
They're just the size of like a cat. It's fine.
Yeah, cat rats. Wouldn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is a crowd. There's like totally a crowd. Hey, Steven, how are you?
Hey there. Sorry about late.
No worries, no worries. We just got to the red market. We have a new character we're gonna meet at the red market. They or may not be a crow. Do you need the links to? Oh no. Do you need the links to everything else, or you should be fine?
Just the roll.
Oh, give me a sec. It's usually at the very right of the character keeper, but I'll send. Yeah, there it was.
Oh no. Okay, I see it. Sorry.
No worries.
Bye. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we just got to the entrance of the red market. Don't worry. Not miss too much. So yeah, the red market. It's kind of small and cramped. It's a warren as far as domains go. It's Megan mentioned that yeah, there's like scaffolding and rafters kind of built all around like the stalls. Seraphine noticed some cat-sized rats scurrying about, and the appearance of this train has brought a crowd around. Is Calixa on top, or is she still brooding over her daughter?
For me for a second.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, I'll give you time to like look over stuff and just reorient yourself if that's all right.
Oh no, I didn't hear. I broke up. So I didn't hear you if you said something to me.
Oh, okay, all right. Sorry, yeah, I did say. I was asking like, yeah, is Calixa up top now, or is she still brooding over her daughter's photo? Because we kind of just left the last the whole Heart's Blood thing, and there's still that dead drow in the engine room. But is she still up? Is she up top now to see the red market?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of
Kind of drunk at this point, but
oh shit. Yeah, because there's no crowd around this around your train, which I should have described for Tunnel Crow's sake. It's the big train engine in two carriages, but we've been going backwards this whole time. I forget why, but oh yeah, because it was just facing towards Spire when we saw the train. It's like, let's move the train, and the train went backwards. But yeah, there's like a crowd of like just a mix of random people. And Tunnel Crow, you're probably there in the corner. But yeah, there's this group, and this like, let me see. You can see like some of them look like just adventurers and whatnot. Actually, no, the adventurers, the delvers, people like you, kind of stick to the side. But there are some people you'll notice who are kind of like wearing these like red robes around them that kind of match the color of like the red curtains that are filling this space as well. And there's this one that specifically who kind of bounds up to your train carriage, and he's surrounded by a gaggle of I guess you'd call them serfs. They look sick. They have they're dark red skin, but they kind of like walk in around this dude who is like, I'd say he is a drow. He's a drow with like lines in his face. He looks fairly old. He's big. He's kind of like, he's not big, wide. That's what he is. He's quite wide, and he kind of like looks at I guess the three of you who's on the train carriage and says, "Why, this is a most peculiar way of transport. Yet I see none of you of Vermissian make."
Oh, our Vermissian proved unequal to our travel requirements. They sleep.
One unfit for this space, then. And I think he has a hearty laugh, and he kind of like he does a thing where he beats his head, not his head, his hand against his chest, and says, "Well, I must welcome you, weary delvers, into the Red Market, where everything is for sale and anything is for sale, provided you can pay the price."
Thank you. Is there a common currency of the market?
Let me repeat myself. Everything has a price, and anything has a price. That price, well, that's up to our dear merchants here. We don't believe in trying to mess with the market. Good witch.
And just out of character, where's Corian at this point? What happened to him?
Oh, yeah, Corey. Oh, yes. I think I described a weird tunnel kind of folding in to you all, and says like, and I think that this guy kind of even like says like, "I'm sure you've noticed that even entry to this place extracts its own price from your group." And then that's where you notice that Corian's not here. I think he's looking very expectant to you, and then he kind of like claps his hands in a big like boom and says, "So, are you here to partake in the market, or are you just simply wandering by?"
Can you direct us to a source of poetry or literature?
That would very much quite depend on the. Oh wait, hold on. Let me check something. Fallout, you have. Let me double check. Yeah. Okay. Nah, this is an extended period of time. If I have to talk to a mundane NPC for an extended period of time, you have to do this. That's fine. So he says, "Well, the market service is all. You would have to specify what kind of poetry, what kind of literature, what kind of words make your heart sing."
Just how much would that information cost?
An acquaintance.
Huh?
I think he laughs, big belly laugh, and says, "Oh no. I do not mean to have one of your acquaintances. It's merely to have one of you as an acquaintance. And I dare say being an acquaintance with the fantabulous Rubius Crowfer is well, it's worth a transaction, I'd say.
Looking to either side. No one's stepping up. Fine, hello. Seraphine Grimm. Witch of the Covens, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Rubius Crowfer, Exarch of the Incarnadine sect. And he grabs your hand with both his big like mitten. He's wearing like wraps around his hands as well. He just shakes it vigorously. And says, well, now that we have acquainted ourselves, and surely this acquaintance will blossom to an ever-blooming relationship, let's complete the transaction. But you've not answered my question. What kind of poetry? What kind of literature? What kind of words do our dear delvers here seek?
A poem, a song to stir the hearts of any who hear it.
I think his eyes glimmer, and he says, then you seek Carmine Hypatia, she who deals with words.
Excellent. You may be a more useful friend than you had originally seemed.
I strive to be nothing but useful. Is that not right? And his serfs kind of go, yeah. And then he tosses them a bunch of like silver coins, and each of them grabs, so each of them gets a coin, and then they just like eat the coins like chips, and they're like, and he's like, well, an acquaintance of Seraphine. He takes this moment, as I take this moment to look up what your last name is. He takes this moment to like, Grimm, it's an acquaintance of mine. Any more helpful questions I could provide for you travelers in the Red Market? I'll be more than happy to oblige. But for now, I think he backs away, and the serfs kind of back away, and the crowd kind of like backs away almost at his command. Enjoy the sights, enjoy the frivolities. For like I said, everything here has a price, and anything here has a price, and anything can be here. So I'm gonna cut to Tunnel Crow for the moment. Well, I'll let y'all think on what y'all want to do, because I think most of y'all will probably want to go straight to Carmine. But I think Tunnel Crow, you're here to looking for the poem yourself. What have you been doing to try and find it, the poem?
So I've been trying to get people to show me the wares, and I've been trying to haggle with them because I don't really need to buy the poem. I mean, I don't care what happens to it. I just want to take a moment with it and maybe make some additions. Wait, where are you going? No, please. We can strike a deal, sure. No, I don't want to play it for the whole thing. No, nobody. And this seems to not be working. So they look through their money and they see that they don't have much, and they decide, well, maybe I'll get some suckers to actually buy the poem, and then I'll sneak by and make some additions, and they will go with the poem and they'll not notice it. Should be a good plan. And as he sees the train arrive and this strange group coming in, he's half discreetly as a 3-foot humanoid train plate can be, seeing where they are going and who they are approaching about the poem.
Cool. So yeah, what's the three of you? Are the three of you going straight to Carmine, do you think?
I feel like I am probably.
Cool.
I think so. At the very least, we need to figure out if Carmine is the right dealer and what sort of prices we're going to be looking at.
Works for me.
Cool. So yeah, I think the three of them go into the red market, yeah, with a bit of direction, more direction than you had, Tunnel Crow. For sure. Here's the thing. I'm gonna need you to roll, Tunnel Crow, to see if they notice you.
What will that be?
Okay, so it's kind of dice rolling is kind of the same with Spire. So we start with 1d10 for luck and see what your skills in domain supply. Yeah, you have one skill. That doesn't apply here. This is definitely a sneak, but you have the right domain. This place is definitely a warren. So that's a 2d10. Let's say just as a risky.
So I have a 5.
Okay, so that is whew. Yeah, that's a failure. So here's what's gonna happen. So you try to like be inconspicuous and follow this group, and who's the merchant that annoys you and shouts and suddenly grabs your shoulder to like shout very loudly in your face? If you don't have a merchant, I can make one up right now.
Yeah, I think it's Parelos. It's a human merchant, one of the odds that are here so low, that they got here because of some really bad gun deals that they got. And they have half a mine that I've been stealing from them on my time there. They were never able to prove something, but they see me sneaking around and they believe, oh no, he's back at it again.
Yeah, I think he very loudly like goes, "Hey, you, Tunnel Crow! If that is your real name, I've told you a million times that your damn poetry of fucking war and rebellion and whatnot is not here, and you've stolen enough from me, you silly little Vermissian crow, and I think he saw you skulking kind of behind his group as well. And he starts shouting at you three. He's like, sirs, ma'am, I'll have you know that you're being tailed by this perfidious corvid over here. I believe he has nefarious machinations in store for the lot of you, as he has had for me for what feels like generations. And when he says that, he dramatically points a finger at Tunnel Crow. Tunnel Crow. Roll me a d4. You're gonna take fortune stress.
You already rolled?
Oh no, that was me dropping this. It's not.
Okay.
Usually, I roll for stress, but I find it's more fun to make the players roll for their
Okay,
stress.
I only get one.
Okay, see, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. To roll for Fallout, you don't get Fallout. There we go. Yeah. So the three of you, this very sweaty human has pointed out this crow knight at you and says, "Hey, he's been following you. What up?"
Seraphine will turn with this like squinted eye glare at Tunnel Crow. You, thief! Did the merchant say you were Vermissian?
I'm no thief. I'm a knight.
A Vermissian knight?
Yes, I am an expert on the secrets of the liminal spaces.
Ah, perfect. Ours is past their limit. We need a new one.
What happened to your previous one?
They were not up to the task of driving the train.
Shameful, 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 shameful.
To be fair, I don't think we were driving it in the usual manner. I think it was a bit of a rough journey.
I don't see how that's any excuse.
I'll remind you all that your previous Vermissian Knight got into a fist fight with an angry gnoll.
That's
Oh,
okay.
no,
I mean, they got into a fist fight. We've been using his blood. Whatever.
It all works out.
You do have blood, right?
I may or may not have blood. It's been a while.
I pull out my knife. I think I can find out if you're particularly interested.
Get that away from me! Don't you know who I am? I am the Tunnel Crow, slayer of the great trash dragon.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you who I am. I'm Calixte Abelard, and I'm about as close to the law as you're going to find around here. And I think I see someone who's going to be appearing in the wanted section of all the High Elf outposts from now on. And I'm going to use my new ability to not have to have evidence on someone to declare them a wanted criminal. You're muted.
Oh,
You're
that's me.
doing something.
That's me. No, that's me laughing incredulously.
Yeah, so I'm just doing this because now I have a mastery to hunt you. I have mastery to hunt you down.
Did you already declare another criminal?
It's once per session.
Oh, fair, okay. Ooh. So
Meet a worse criminal, so you kind of have to update, I guess.
how is this worse in the sense of they're worse at being a criminal, or they're just a worse person?
They're just more annoying to Calixta. That's really it.
Yeah, so Tunnel Crow, you've been branded a criminal by this hound.
Actually, I probably like just give your face a little cut as I do it.
Ooh.
Does it bleed?
Well, you scratch the Vermissian plate mask.
Okay.
That is from my favorite train. Such perfidy.
How heavy are you?
What?
No, out of character.
What?
Out of character, how heavy are you?
Probably a lot. I mean, it's wearing plate. The character itself must be like what 50 pounds or something.
I was curious because I was curious if I could like grab you by the neck and lift you up, but I guess not.
Yeah, the problem is
probably
the
tried
armor.
to, and you're like, ugh, heavy bugger.
Yeah, the problem is that the crow, that is definitely not a crow, is in the sealed, airtight armor. So that's probably the heavy part.
All right, Tunnel Thief, you were obviously put in our path for a reason. The Covens knew where they were sending us, so you can either come with us and get a chance to see one of the legendary Vermissian trains for yourself and perhaps drive it, or we can let the Hound determine your guilt here.
I have no time to waste with hounds. I have legends to carve. I'll be glad to join you in this mighty adventure.
Lovely.
That was in character. Seraphina just sighs and puts away her knife.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, the Calixtus sigh.
Don't worry,
Enemy
Calixta.
fucker, join our group at this point, aren't we?
I'm sure there'll be something for you to stab soon. Don't worry.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll just bring you straight to Carmine Hypathia's stall, and I think you kind of go through like these corridors. They're a bit, no, they're not cramped, but they're like you're probably not used. You're used to like more open spaces, and this is definitely like warren of a place. And you see like lots of like people selling stuff. Like there's a stall that is selling like a lot of crystals from all over the heart. There's like a stall that's like making food, and they say like we go as deep as the heart goes to get the best sort of produce. You look at the produce, it's like it shouldn't be glowing like that, but okay. That sort of thing. And yeah, you get to Carmine Hypathia's stall, and it's I think there is there's a big sign that kind of just says House of Hypatia, and it's a knickknack store, I guess. It's not really a stall. It kind of goes into it looks like a stall, but it kind of goes into a small alcove, and it's like a lot of junk. Like I don't know about you, Meglin, but this is like more junk per capita than you're probably used to. There's like just a lot of nonsense. There's like a box full of compasses. There's like a bunch of shirts sewn into a tapestry. There are a bunch of animal parts just hanging around. There's a goat's leg carbine that is actually just a goat's leg that can somehow shoot something. Just there. And yeah, you'll find Carpathia kind of in the back. She's rifling through some scrolls. Actually, she's kind of small. She's wearing like those red robes that the other fella Rubius Crowfor was wearing as well. And she turns around because she hears the four of you, and you can see that again she's another like drow person, but her eyes are kind of like nearly bugging out of their head, and you can see that they're like these burnished copper eyes that you've never seen on a drow. You might have seen them on a goat, but you've not seen them on a drow. And she squints with those bulging eyes and says, "What can the House of Hypatia do for you fine fellows?"
We're here for a poem. Got a tunnel crow here for trade if you're looking for one.
I am a criminal. I am not yours. Trade away, constable. Caw, caw.
She squints and says, "That depends on your crow's eyes. Are they beautiful?"
Shove them forward. Shove them forward.
I think she kind of like she kind of peers at you, Tall Crow, and says, "Those are false eyes."
It's called. It's called a helmet. Don't you have those to sell here? Caw, caw. Maybe all your poetry has strained your eyesight.
I think she looks at you. Oh, go on, Surfing. You say something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I saw you unmute. She's gone.
So, eyes, is it? Is that your particular payment?
It's my preferred payment. What do you think of these eyes? And she points at her eyes. the bulging, burnished copper eyes.
They're very reflective.
I see we have an experienced flatterer in our midst.
I also love going for the eyes, but I find it is easier after one takes one hammer blow to the knee.
Good, good. Fine foundation for commerce all around.
I may have poetry to your liking. I have poems of love. I have poems of hate. I have poems of the sun, of the sea, of the stars. I have poems of great battles, of adventurers. I have poets of this place. And those poems,
Adventurous say?
yes, of great deeds done in the name of the heart. I have many such poems. Would you prefer to take a look, or is there a specific one you rowdy group of delvers are looking for?
We search a poem, a song of rebellion, of conquest, one to spread through the masses.
You wish to peek at the song of revolution. And she kind of reaches. She kind of goes further into the stall, and yeah, you're left alone for a moment. And yeah, these red curtains, these lanterns, and all these knickknacks, and whatnot. There's a picture frame there, which is just weird to see because what the hell? It's a picture frame. And she comes back with a small like commonplace book, but like bound in this like lock. And she says, here's a song of revolution. Be careful where you sing it. Well, if you can afford to pay for it. But it's a song not lightly sung. It's go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's 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 quite heady. The person who sold me this told me of an entire temple down at the heart who were so burdened by the injustices happening up top that they decided to spend their lives crafting something that would sing the spire into waking. Now, I don't know if that's true because, quite frankly, I don't need to go to Spire. I don't like Spire. Spire is a terrible place. This place is much more interesting to me. They wouldn't let me have eyes like these. But if this is the song you're looking for,
How did you get eyes like those?
how do you get anything in this market, dear sir? You pay for them, you trade for them, you create a business where people will want random nonsense from you, and in return, they'll give you what you want. And what I want are eyes, sir. Not just any eyes, though. They've got to be nice.
Shiny.
Quite easy to claim anything's inside a locked book. How can we take you for your word that's the song?
I think she kind of like rolls her eyes at you, which is weird because they're kind of bulging out. So when she rolls her eyes, it's a bit ugh. And she says, "Would you like a taste, Miss Hound? I'll give you a taste. I will not have anyone besmirch the name of the House of Hypatia. All my goods here are as advertised. We of the Incarnadine pledge ourselves to the triumph and truth of the market. But if you're so skeptical, And I think she kind of reaches into her robes, pulls like a small key, and then I was just about to put it in. She says, "Tell me, do each of you believe in revolution, in rebellion, in conquest?"
Conquest? Con?
Shrug. Whatever floats your boat. Yeah.
We wouldn't be down here if we didn't.
Believe in nothing more than overthrowing the sham that this reality has become.
Yeah,
Blister just kind of gives an eye roll at the rest of the party.
Okay, I think she stamps her foot a bit, and somehow the curtains at the front kind of like blossom to like cover up the stall, so you're now inside, just in the stall with her. And she says, "It's a beautiful song." And she opens the lock, and we're going to take a break because we've been here for an hour. Let's take 5, and then we'll come back and see what the song does to y'all. BRB. All right, welcome back. So here's what's gonna happen as she opens this book. All of you are gonna have to make endure checks, and of course, if you all don't have endure, you're only rolling one die. If you have endure and Warren, you'll be rolling 3 dice. So, and this is just risky, so it's just a normal difficulty.
Occult or curse help at all?
Let me check. Let me double check. What are the domains of this place? Nah, it's just a Warren.
I get a 6 on my 1 die.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Oh, except it's on 10, so probably not as good as.
Look, it's still it's better than a 5.
I got a 7 on my 1 die.
I get a
Nice.
6 in 3.
Meglin, how did you fare?
Yep.
Sorry, Meglin, what did you get?
So I got 5. Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, failed as well.
Okay, all right. So just to expedite the getting of stress, this is gonna be stress to mine. I'm just gonna roll it, and those of folks who got a 6, you are going to get. Oh, just 1. Oh, that's nice. Just 1 stress to mind. But okay, Megan, I'll get to you in a moment. But to each 4 of you, what does the Song of Revolution sound like? When she opens the book and like you jump into a song already in motion, already playing. What does it sound like to each of you?
I think Seraphine, like her mind focuses on the rhythm, the sort of underlying beat of the song, and she hears like the whole reality of the heart beating in tempo around her with it.
Mm-hmm.
To Tunnel Crow, it sounds like a cacophony of crackling embers, the creaking of wood, the tear of a greenstone, and suddenly it gets to a crescendo, and you get the rupture, and you can hear the sound of rushing water. No, there's something wrong. The way it sounds, too viscous. It's not water. It's like a dam of blood was breached. It's flooding, quenching the crackling fire.
I think for Meglin is hearing almost like giant pan flutes, just like very ethereal. But then as they kind of listen to it, it's almost like this bigger breathing of the space, and it's breathing's rhythmically kind of intensifying, and it's just very invigorating but unrestful kind of feeling, like getting kind of pent up, kind of building up tension.
I think Calixta just kind of gets a headache and doesn't hear anything, so she sticks her pinky in her ear, cleans her ear out, and listens again, then kind of goes to the rest. Like, I'm not hearing anything, or are you? But they just ignore her.
I think Carmine Hypatia kind of chuckles at that, and she says, "Well, some people just aren't built for loftier causes, and that's perfectly fine." And she closes the book, and she says, You may doubt what this can do, but your colleagues there. It's kind of like nods to the other three. Actually, Megan, since you failed that, roll me a d8.
That's a 2.
Okay, all right. You're rolling low on stress. Let's see. Just gonna keep accumulating stress. Where's my d12? Yeah, you're fine. And actually, I'll roll for Seraphine. Well, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, I think yeah. So Carmine just kind of gets it's like, well, certainly your more loftier-minded colleagues felt a whiff of what this book is selling.
Feels like it will work, whatever it does.
Seems genuine.
Could use some improvement.
Could use some. I'm sure my loftier-minded colleagues, though, could use something I've got plenty of. And then I lean in, punch her in the face, and say, "A sense of timing."
All right, let's see how this goes. You're not trying to kill her, are you?
No, I'm just trying to punch her. I'm just trying to punch her out and grab the book.
Okay, all right. Let's make this roll. I'm going to up the difficulty from challenging to risky because you're in an enclosed space. The curtains are still closed in your stall, in her stall. So what that means is I'm going to take away your highest rolling die. But yeah, let's make this roll. Start with 1d10. Ooh. Any of your skills apply for this? Because you're not trying to kill her.
Well, yeah, but kill is for fighting in general, right?
Let me double check. I think it is, but I will.
Because there isn't any other skill for fighting.
Yeah. Okay, the description for kill is end lives and things with weapons are your bare hands. Ooh. Yeah, maybe they should work to broaden that a bit. I'll make a note of that. No, should I whenever I write notes for this? I'll allow it for now because I'm a fan of I'm far too big of a fan of the characters I want to succeed. So I'll allow this for now. So that's 2d10. And you're in a... You're fighting in a warren.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a 3d10 with a risky difficulty. So yeah, see that.
And it's a 1.
What, really?
Yep. I got a 4 and 2 1s.
What? Here's what's gonna happen. You punch her. The thing is, dear. Look, she's not the most resilient of people. Not the most resilient of living things. So when you punch her, you kind of like punch her like between the eyes, and that kind of like that knocks her out for a spell. But enough of a spell to be like, okay, so do you know those hand wraps the Incarnadine wear? There's a rumor that was put forward by, I think it was Ludo, that they have like these charms that can turn things to silver. But they do have charms in their hands. But and don't blame me for this. This was in the notes. Yeah. So for a moment, you punch her so hard that like she kind of loses consciousness and loses like, it's like her body thinks she's dead, and that's enough to trigger the dead man switch on her. So what's gonna happen is, because you're all here in this exposed space, everyone is going to get a D10 stress to blood. This is that a 1 was rolled. So I'm gonna roll that stress.
Question: is this and some kind of environmental effect, or
Yeah, it's like it's like a sudden magical pulse, I guess, around you that attacks like living things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I think maybe then my protection is double for that.
Okay.
To have that in consideration.
Okay. All right. So, but the one was rolled, which means you're gonna take double stress. So, okay. I'm gonna roll this. Let's hope it goes well. D10 to blood. Oh well, that's a 4. Okay, that's not too bad. Well, that's double, so you get it. You get 8. All of you get 8 stress unless. What's your protection, Tunnel Crow?
It might be 6 against that effect if it is some kind of environmental that my arcane ceiling, because it doubles my protection against that. Let me go. Yeah, the arcane rebreather.
Oh, good. That works out perfectly for me then, because I think it was established that you and I were right next to each other. And I activate my collateral, and I think literally Calixte just kind of grabs you and uses you as a shield, considering that you are one already.
Wow.
So I think you,
Wow.
because so yeah.
Wow. So
Fortunately, you have double blood resistance, correct?
wow. Yeah, for this moment, yes.
Yeah, if
You
it
will have
applies,
to.
I get 6 blood resistance.
Yes, so you will only take, let's see, you will only take 10 because you're taking, because everyone is taking 8. Calixa used their collateral, so it means you're taking Calixta's 8, so you're only taking 10.
This worked out well for Calixta.
I feel better about taking 6 then.
So even enough boxes for 10. Hold on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wow, it tops out at 10. Okay, so you're moving that so I see Megan's moving all this stress 8 to Echo. Okay.
Yeah, we're at 1 protection, but it's better than nothing. So
Yeah, okay. That's holy crap, that's a lot. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna deal with the fallout and then I'm gonna yeah, okay. All right, okay. Let's see how this works. I'm gonna just roll fallout for I'm just gonna run one fallout. No, I'm gonna roll fallout for each person. Let's see. 7 to 12. Jesus. 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 Jesus Christ. God. Oh, all of you's probably gonna get some sort of major fallout. Probably. But while I roll this fallout, I'll just tell you the scenario. What's gonna happen? So, Carmine falls down. She's unconscious. That moment where she kind of like died from your hit. It passes. But you all get blasted back by her dead man switch. The book is there, just in her hands as she's unconscious. Meanwhile, yeah, of course you suffer fallout there, Meglin. Yeah, of course you suffered fallout there, Seraphine. Yeah, of course you suffered the fallout there, Tunnel Crow. And Calixta's fine.
You said this was major?
Oh yeah.
Things is
yeah.
about to get interesting.
Oh god. Oh yeah.
And I get a advance.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Here's Jesus. Oh Jesus Christ. I think just for expediency's sake, I think all of you are gonna take the same fallout. It's going to be blinded. So you all kind of like get
Oh,
Hit in the
no.
eyes. You know.
Oh, that
Uh,
makes this even worse.
Okay.
Because when I take a major fallout, it reveals my true form.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So as this wave comes out, you can usually see the dark red infected veins that run up her arms. They bulge and swell as Seraphine's skin splits along those veins as something much larger and different looking comes crawling out of her. This 8-foot tall, stooped over ancient crone figure made out of what looks like coagulated solid blood in a sort of Marvel Venom Carnage way. Very much like this screaming extended maw and claws and stuff. Let's see, I have mastery on hunt and kill, but everything else is risky. And now I'm enraged and blinded.
Yeah, so the thing with blinded, which everyone but Calixta gets, because Calixta's terrible. She should be blinded by her sins. It's gonna make things difficult because anything that involves vision is gonna go up a difficulty. Oh yeah, and everyone halves their total stress because you suffered major fallout. So,
Oh, how lovely.
which is nice.
Half
Oh shit! I
rounded
think
up or down?
Round it down.
down. Oh, I think actually, let me belay. I think Meglin, you are going to get a different kind of fallout because you moved it all to echo. You're not gonna get blinded. I should have
Fair
noted that. Yeah. See, normally this doesn't happen, but look, it was. I'm gonna blame the playtest. It's all the dead man switch was there, and I was hoping it didn't need to be triggered. But rethink that. Okay. You've had this ravening call for a while now. I think it's time to bring it out, Meglin. Unless I'll put this to the table. Do you want another horrific complication in terms of just a horrible beastie coming in here to ruin things up, or would people prefer to have something to fight?
I mean, horrible complication monsters sound like the best.
Yeah.
How are you feeling,
Also-
Tunnel Crow? Oh,
I think they are the worst thing than monsters. So let's go for those complications.
Might as well.
okay. So yeah, Megan, what does it look like when the ravening beast bursts from your mind?
I think there's been all this talk of eyes and with my companions being blinded, but that hitting me in some other weird, warped, magical way. Maybe just that sort of discharge from that weapon kind of just I kind of overcharge and it all just kind of comes out of my eyes. So just kind of maybe almost like a spectral what you call ectoplasm or something just comes out of Meglin's face and then kind of starts to shift everything under it and transform into some kind of beast. I don't know if it's a physical transformation or what it says it is.
Double check. Yeah, it will attempt to see. It will attempt to maul others, but its primary motivation is to consume you utterly. Yeah, I think it's a physical beast.
Okay. Yeah,
So
kind of from the inside out, the shape kind of comes through and starts to stretch my features a little bit.
okay. All right, so let's recap what's happening in this poor Carmine's stall. There's Carmine there, unconscious, holding the book. There's Calixta, who used Tunnel Crow as a shield. The two of them are kind of fine, except Calixta's fine. Tunnel Crow's a bit blinded. Seraphine has turned to a horrific zoetrope monster thing. And Megan has just spat out another horrific, kind of almost zoetrope monster thing. I think
it belongs in the temples I've been creating. Maybe that's what it is too.
Ooh, yeah,
Like a weird spectral sea creature, elder god kind of thing.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, maybe it has this fleshy sort of eel head, but it's got like it's on fours, but there's like tentacles where it shouldn't be, and it kind of writhes in this like spectral way that like limbs shouldn't writhe like that. And it kind of like it raises hackles, and that means the tentacles start like wiggling, almost like a presentation. Okay, let's okay. All right, I want to know, what does each person want to do? Let's go through what each person wants to do, and then we'll see how this goes.
Viciously attack something. I don't know what because I'm blind.
Okay.
I plant my feet, not talons, and I raise my shield with my own crudely designed sigil, and I stand my ground to protect the fallen merchant, so that the monster does not go on them.
Hey, and you're refusing to back down when it would be beneficial to do so.
Hey.
Yep.
And I will say right now, Carmine Harpatia is kind of important in this place. Actually, no, this place isn't even, is not marked as a haven, so we don't.
But I'm taking D6 mind stress.
Yes, yeah. Roll me a d6. So you stand no further.
6, and I have protection mind 1.
Okay, okay, all right. Everything's gonna be fine.
But when I get an advancement, I also get to refresh 1d8.
Ooh, nice. Oh yes, yeah, you do. Yeah, legendary. Okay, cool. Roll me that d8. That'll nullify this 6.
5.
There we go. God, yeah. When these things start cascading, I'm like there's yeah. I make that noise, and then we'll see what happens. Calixto, what are you planning on doing?
Pick up the book and slip it into my coat quietly.
And Megan?
Up to you how much control I have or not, but I definitely, if there's anything in this place that has any sort of magical charge to it, I'm gonna start trying to eat it. I just want more power.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Let's go through it those one by one. I think for Calixto, you can definitely take the book because there's a lot happening. Seraphine is now a thing. There's this horrible ravening beast, kind of like it's trying to
I
make
didn't need to see either of those things.
Yeah, no, you probably didn't expect that.
Probably would have been better if I was blinded, but
No, yeah. I'll make the first move go to our not our ravening beast, no, our witch, who is now a bit of a beast. You can barely see, but your senses can tell there's something horrible and disgusting that kind of come out in this place.
I mean, I'd go
not
for
my
the
true colors.
Well, it's not just your true colors. How about that? I mean, I think I'd be drawn to the large screaming tentacle monster first.
Question: If people are making an effort to be on a place which the monster will have to pass through me, will they be guarded?
As in you're guarding.
As in, they won't have the guarded advantage from having a better position.
Let me double check. Yes.
Okay, so something for people to take into consideration where they position themselves.
Okay. I think what it sounds like is like the two of you are kind of like surrounding this tentacled beastie, and it's like there's a moment where it's kind of like confused and angry and hungry. But yeah, I think I'll let the witch make the first move.
Unearthly screaming and slashing with claws in a just really unsettling.
Okay. Okay.
I have mastery. Yeah, mastery in hunt and kill.
Yeah, so that means you get a die because you don't have kill or hunt. So yeah, that's 2d10, and because the fallout bumps you up, so I'm gonna take away your highest rolling die.
It's gonna go well for everyone.
Fun. So these two. Well, I got a 10 and a 3. Also a 3.
Oh shit. Wow, this is not a good day at the office. Yeah, did anyone remove we should remove your stress as well, Meglin. Sorry about that. 3, 4. I'm gonna do that now. No one's removed your stress yet. I'm gonna do that now. There we go. You're now down to 4. Okay, so you let out some sort of unholy screech, and I think the two of you just collide. And I think if you're not blinded, you definitely your claws or whatever the hell you have would find purchase on its skin, but it's like it's slippery, because it's from the sea. Hey, so it's your stabbing is finding hard to get some purchase on this thing, and you kind of roll around and you kind of smash through this stall. I think what's even going to happen is just to position folks, you're going to smash near the entrance, and then kind of roll back towards Tunnel Crow. I'm going to roll, because I just have dice and I just need to roll. I'm just going to roll to see how much stress you take. Okay, it's not too bad. That's 3, probably more to blood.
So just 1 then, because I have blood protection too.
Ooh.
Do they press through me on their way to them?
Yeah, they're getting close to you.
So they get 1d6 stress.
Oh,
Yeah.
the creature. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I want to know when they are crossing to my path.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
They shall not pass without being stressed.
Yeah, I think the creature's like claws, which are they're fractal teeth and blackstone claws, kind of like rip through bits of, not enough bits because you don't take 1 stress, but like just like leave you enough cuts, Seraphine. Meanwhile, they come close to Tunnel Crow, and what's like your automatic response, Tunnel Crow?
As soon as I sense the massive movement of the beast, I just know that something is trying to cross through a space which I'm dominating. There's this ripple in the air. It's almost as if there was movement, but Tunnel Crow is not moving. It's just like the space itself folded and the creature meets directly without the momentum that it's rushing to right into my hammer. As if they try to get around me, but the space just folds so that they cannot. And they just meet still.
Nice. Roll me that d6.
5.
All right, so I should have written down the stats of this thing. This paper. Beast, resistance. You said that's a 5, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it bounces off from your attack, and it smashes into the more of the charms and whatnot, and it's spitting mad. Turn to you, Calixta. You're kind of you're next to Tunnel Crow. You have the book. What do you do?
I saw I slipped the book into my coat pocket, and I kind of draw out my pistols and kind of it's a pretty big creature, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's almost comfortably taking. Yeah. Just say yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
kind of jump onto it, and Calixta doesn't know what to look for, but I'm gonna shoot the closest head thing the thing that looks most like a head.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's make that roll. You're fine. You're not blinded somehow. Um.
I mean, that's some really good armor you got there, Tunnel Crow. Really good stuff.
There are benefits to wearing the train.
All right. So that's an easy 1d10, one for kill. You're in a. You don't have. Oh yeah, you do. You have domain
do
for
now.
ward. Yes.
Yep, I took the advance.
Of course. And you have mastery. So yeah, that's a 4d10. You'll be grand.
Oh, you say that, but I need one more d10. So let me just add one.
Actually, yeah, this ravening beast does come with a difficulty of risky. So even though you're not blinded, I'll still have to take away your highest rolling die.
Okay, so that got me a 10. I accidentally rolled up. Did I pick? Okay, I had it set to. Whoops. Okay, so I rolled a 10, and then the other 3. And it's an 8.
Yeah, fab. All right, so yeah, you're gonna do it. You're gonna shoot this thing in the head. You got your sidearm, right? Let's see.
Yeah, and like I said, I also jumped up onto it. And when you attack someone in close quarters, your attack gains the piercing tag.
Ooh, now let me find those tags because your gun also has a brutal tag. So piercing, ooh, okay. So you just cannot reduce stress inflicted by this weapon by using blood protection. The thing with NPCs is that all they have is just protection. But I'm gonna say it's gonna pierce through their protection. And brutal is you're gonna roll 2 dice and pick the highest. So you're gonna roll me a 2d8, 2d6. Yeah, we're gonna pick the highest. And you're gonna pierce through its protection. And then you're gonna have some questions on why this thing came out of Meglin, I assume. While Meglin's eating junk.
A 6.
Ooh. Wait, hold on. Ooh. Okay. All right. You shoot it, and it tries to yelp out, but I'm imagining this thing yelps in like a strangled sort of yell because it's not in the sea, and it kind of like slumps forward as if but you can see it's shivering as if it's trying to cling to life, and then it starts crawling up the stall towards you, Meglin. Like it's crawling towards you, and it's looking at you with with a horrific sort of hunger. When the camera turns to you, Meglin, what do we see? What are you doing?
So this thing came out of me, and it's fighting, and I feel like would have drained me quite a bit or something. So I'm not sure how much I'm even registering that this came out of me, but so I might kind of be a little bit stunned. Maybe not really reacting in a good way. So if it's crawling up to me, it's probably getting right up close to me very easily.
Yeah, it's trying like feebly to like paw at you, to like try to. It looks like it's trying really hard to like try and dismember you, but it can't because it's too spent. It's
like snap out of it and kind of just like slap it away and kind of stagger back and kind of find my bearings again if I can.
Yeah. So you'll notice, you're in a wreck stall. You're in a wreck stall. Seraphine is this spider thing. It's perfect. Probably screech. It's probably still screeching. Tunnel Crow looks positively heroic, standing there. And Calixta, I don't know how are you feeling.
I'm just kind of grabbed onto the back, like shooting into it.
Oh, you're still shooting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but it's still kind of crawling towards you, Meglin, and it's looking at you again as if like if it eats
Got nowhere
you,
else
it's
to go.
Yeah, it's looking at you, Meglin, as if like if it eats you, it's gonna stay alive.
I'll see what happens. I'll take out my ritual dagger that I have and then try to stab it.
Yeah, I think. Ooh. Yeah, I think I don't need to make you roll for this. It's the thing is on its last legs, so I think yeah, you kind of shoot it. Calixta, you shoot it one more time, but Meglin, you get close to it and just yeah, you kind of give it a stab, and it kind of like it's kind of crooning when you get close to you, and again it tries to paw at you, but when you finish that stab, it just slumps there, dead. And yeah, let's take a breath. See where everyone is. Yeah. God. Yeah, so the situation has kind of calmed down. I think, Seraphine, that means you revert back to your human form. What does that look like? Or do we need to describe how that happens?
I think it's nothing too major or outrageous. The crawling, screaming blood beast just goes over to Seraphine's shed skin and gobbles it down until it sort of reemerges and encloses it back down into its, pretty young, drowy looking shape.
Oh, thanks for that description.
No problem.
Nothing too dramatic, right?
No, nothing too dramatic. Yeah. So the woman calms down. Who's the first to speak up with this beast dead?
Does anyone see where the book is?
Are you going to add death to your crimes? This is on you. It's my shit on whatever that was. Caw.
I roll my eyes. Are we really going to listen to the thief in the group?
You talk about thieves, but you attacked someone doing their business. And you say, I am the criminal.
Yeah, and don't forget it.
Mm-hmm. Did you not see where the book went when you decided to punch her?
Oh, it was down on the ground last I checked, but I don't see it there now. You were awfully close to it. Tunnel, what is it, marmot? Rat?
You're welcome to approach me and look for it. Still in the same liminal stand.
Ooh.
I'm actually curious. I want to use one of my new abilities. If anything happens either way, it's the Drowned Queen's Curse, and I can basically, again, don't know if this is relevant, but I can interact with ghosts and spirits, and also see where the greatest source of death resonance, it says. So I don't know if that's any sort of trying to feel out what's nearby, or if not, I don't know.
Oh, death resonance. That could be construed in so many ways. If you wanna figure that out, yeah. You know what's the biggest? Where's the greatest source of death resonance? Sure. Ghosts and spectral creatures. Ooh, that's interesting. Given that roll, it's a discern plus occult, and because it doesn't need vision, I assume, kind of. Your difficulty will stay
Well,
normal.
he's also the only non-blinded one, right?
Oh yeah. You didn't get blinded.
I mean, besides myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't get blinded. You got that beast. You got the beast. That's why we had this fight. Yeah. Do you want to make so 1d10, another, and then another for discern plus occult?
I feel like this has descended very quickly into paranoia.
Nice. Yeah, I got a 10.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you kind of you get a lot of information all at once. And what does it look like when you like open your mind to the spectral realm, so to speak?
Again, going with the last weird thing that happened, maybe kind of my eyes become sort of like ethereal and smoky, and it kind of like wafts out of my eyes for a second as I'm kind of merging into spirit realm a little bit, kind of go into a trance for a second.
Okay. What does it look like when you see death resonance, whatever that means? What does that look like?
It feels like gravity's stronger in places, like just a great pulling down, and the shadows seem more dense.
Well, you see a lot of dense shadows, and you feel yourself getting pulled towards Calixta, for one thing. That's one one of two things you'll notice. The second thing you'll notice is that there's this like apparition hovering around Seraphine. There's this otherworldly sort of. Well, actually, no, not Seraphine. This. What does your goddess look like?
Hmm. I think it's all just in the blood. That's all that she can feel and connect to. So there's this like humanoid form floating above and behind her, but all you can see of it is the like heart and circulatory system, like the veins outlining the shape of this thing.
Nice, yeah. So I think you'll see this like apparition kind of like almost like put their hands on Seraphina's shoulders, and then you see them look around as if like, I mean, it's an apparition. It kind of knows what's been happening around here, and they give Calixta this cold look. Well, I don't know if circulatory systems can give a cold look, but if this one can, it would. And yeah, you feel the gravity pulled towards Calixta. That has nothing to do with the book. That has more to do with like
He just really dislikes me.
Kind. All right, I won't make judgments.
Also, there's a lot of death. A lot of death. Like, if we're gonna say who probably has killed the most people in the group.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too.
So, yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead. So, Calixta, you're gonna say something?
That was it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, you get that, and I think you come out of the trance. Meglin, how are you feeling?
Not too surprised about that, really, but kind of realizing again the power of the witch who's with us, and that's kind of what brought us here, and kind of acknowledging the whatever that thing is that was over her, and kind of wondering, okay, well, where do we go next? We need to complete what we were sent here to do.
Yeah, but the book's missing, or is it? I think. Oh,
Because the
here's the
game
thing.
doesn't handle PvP, if somebody wants to confront Calixta, she'll probably come clean. I'm just saying if we want to go, because there's not really great like mechanical supporting for PvP.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out. Like, all right, we need to like hash this out. That's why you weren't here. I was proposing that we end this in a nice, calm, mature discussion over tea. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Should have. If I had heard that, I wouldn't have punched you in the face.
Yeah, look, you're not the one who put a dead man switch in this playtest. All right.
You will wait for the tea to be done boiling.
Yeah, I think. Okay, here's how other people find out. When you punch Carmine in the face, she didn't lock that book. She didn't get a chance to lock it yet. because she was waving she was kind of waving around when she was making googly eyes at you. And so I think to the other three, you can hear like a snippet of it, like of the song that they heard coming from Calixta.
Goddamn singing artifacts is what I say out loud.
I think Seraphine's still sort of like kneeling down and panting a bit from the exertion. She can't quite see still, but at the sound and at the cursing, she turns towards Calixta and just narrows her eyes. What have you done?
Pick up my lantern and I kind of say very calmly, now look, I like y'all. You're a very nice group bunch of individuals. You've got character, I'll give you that. But the fact is, there's not just my life on the line of getting this book back to someone to a certain important Elfir. There's someone I care about as well. And quite frankly, I value both those things more than you lot. And I kind of pull out the book and sort of hold it near to the lantern and say, now, I know all of you care about this book. I don't really all that much. And if it means me getting out of here, I'm sure that my employers are going to be as happy with seeing it out of the picture as getting it back to them.
The Aelfir are trash and liars. Whatever they've
Don't
promised
disagree
you,
with you there.
they will pay you in nothing but death.
You have leverage now. You will do better to use it against the Alfir. If they win something, it's because you can use against them somehow. Elfirs are only good at one thing, and it is to making enemies.
You've seen the power of the magics here in the heart. Whatever the Aelfir are holding over you, I can't stand up to that.
Like Calixta sighs and says, and I kind of pull the book away from the lantern and say, all right, fine, but let's just remember this. I could have run with this book and left you all here to fight that little, what are we calling it? Your mouth baby Maeglin?
That's a pretty good description. It's one of the wise ones that live down here.
I could have run with this, but I'm handing it over to you now. I expect this investment to pay off. And I kind of hold it out to you, Seraphine.
Reach forward and miss it the first time and sort of come in with my other hand. Feel okay, I got it. Thank you. This means more than you could know. And if it makes you feel better, we'll hook up the crow thing to the train long before you.
It's good to know.
All right. So we've still got another, well, not an hour, but like still got quite a bit of time. Our time ends at half. So okay. I'll ask each character what do they want to do, because Well, I know what Seraphine wants to do, for sure.
Yeah. I suppose in continuing with the quest, the next thing would be to find a way to that actual. Is it the Queen's Wood?
The Queen's Grave.
The Queen's Grave. That's it.
Hmm.
But we don't actually have to get there. That's just what she'd be after next.
So, as a reminder, the Queen's Grave is where the witches are.
No, the witches are at Hallow.
Oh, okay.
The Queen's Grave is a separate thing for Seraphine. Like, yeah,
Okay.
you'd wanted, you were contracted to take the book back to Hallow, where the witches are, but Seraphine wants to take it to the Queen's Grave to wake up her goddess.
Yeah, that's where I figured out her body is sort of centered or a connection to her or something.
I mean, I'm fine, kind of, because we're running out of time. I'm fine going. Not just because I'm fine going there, and because we're running out of time, I'm fine kind of skimming over the interim bits.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna plan on pulling the event stuff. Because again, yeah, let's just get to I want to see what happens. With all this. So I think, yeah. So is everyone fine with coming with Seraphine down to the Queen's Grave?
That sounds like a good plan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a break. Let's take another 5. And then yeah, we're gonna cut to getting to the Queen's Grave, which is deeper down to the heart. So be back in 5.
Yep. Sorry, everyone.
No, it's great.
Never sorry, that was the best.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Just want to do a quick check-in. How are folks? Oh, doing fine. Cool. All right. So I'm just gonna so we'll get back on the train and just make your way further down into the heart. Does anyone have anything to say to anyone while during this train ride? I think once you come back, Avenue has kind of like tried their best to make sure that drow corpse is like is not on the floor anymore, having been shot in the head. Instead, they're probably on some sort of compartment.
They're just propped up on one of the seats.
Yeah.
Avenue sometimes like talks to them.
Yeah, I think when you come into the carriage, they're like, I had thought the Vermissian knights they were hardy and they were full of bravado, but our dear Master Cauldron has yet to wake up, and it's been hours, and these Vermissians, I'm unsure of between you and me, good sir, and they kind of lean closer to the drow corpse as they talk. These Vermissian knights. They seem to be quite a bit of hype. Don't.
You're running around.
Not to worry, Avenue. We found a replacement.
They turn around and they see this crow motherfucker, and it's just like, it's like, it's. Oh, you're back, and you with a friend. I'll get things running. A replacement, you say?
Sort of nudge Tunnel Crow forward.
I'm the legendary Tunnel Crow. You have the honor of being my presence.
I think just for you, Ludo, because I'm thinking you've never met Avenue. Avenue is kind of like this very lanky, stooped sort of creature. You can't tell because they have a hood and they got a mask that's like smushed out of many different masks. And they kind of, but you say you're the legendary Turtle, and they're like, I've heard not only whispers of the Tunnel Crow. Is this really you?
The one and the same. And they tap on their shield with the misshapen bronze torched sigil of the Tunnel Crow.
Oh, good sirs, dear Calixto, we are blessed. We are not worthy. We have a legend in our carriage. We have a legend in our train. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. And they kind of like fret back and forth.
You're gonna have to make yourselves worthy, because there is nobody else on this quest.
They supplicate themselves for you and say, will you make sure that we're all worthy? We'll make sure we're worthy of your presence. I'll start the engine, and we shall be on our way. And then that I'll show you that we are fit to crew the Vermissian. And they kind of like back away towards the train engine. Yeah. I think this is gonna be this. I don't think there's gonna be action. We're just gonna kind of wrap up. So there's gonna be just a quiet train ride as you pull away from the Red Market, leaving behind poor Carmine. My path is stall ruined.
She'll be fine.
Someone else will rebuild it or something.
They all have insurance anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure one of their sect sells insurance.
But yeah, I think Seraphine like spends the journey sort of more animated and excited than usual, pestering Meglin with questions about the amazing monster that lives inside his mind.
I think Meglin's like in contrast a little more out of it and kind of doesn't know how to answer it. So it's kind of for how weird that was. I don't don't have anything useful to tell you. Like I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. I just got really hungry again.
Seraphine will just start planning like future tests that she can do on you to figure out what this monster is. I mean, if you don't have the answers, obviously we need to find them together.
We could see. I must say I am impressed by the ones that that watch over you. I did see that whole thing. Quite beautiful.
Oh, like that whole just getting into that'll sort of blow her mind too.
That whole thing. Love it. Yeah, what do you see of... Oh, go on, Megan.
Oh, just many wonderful. Actually, that's all our tea time conversations for the future. You know, much to talk about.
Which, oh my god, did you know there's a whole tea car on this train? It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's all blood.
I mean, obviously.
Then you both take a sip.
God. Yeah, y'all are horrific.
Callista is just sitting across from Avenue's new friend complaining about the party, because really, Avenue's friend is really the only one that can make pleasant conversation and that they don't talk.
And, well, they can't talk because you killed them. That was kind of your doing.
She feels a bit bad about it, but...
Yeah, you didn't know their story. You didn't know why a drow was pretending to be an elf here.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't want to be shot, they could have not dressed as an elf here.
Well, you didn't know the story.
We never will, because I shot them like immediately upon meeting them.
Yeah. Immediately. What do we see of Tunnel Crow in this journey?
Tunnel Crow is singing the ballad of the Tunnel Crow and the Trash Dragon. And it's just as screeching and awful as you can expect.
Oh my god. I can't believe this hasn't woken up your other cauldron over there, but no, they're still unconscious.
I mean, we are using that. We are milking them for blood, so they're probably pretty lightheaded.
Yeah.
The first session, the train screams when it goes along, so this is probably pretty horrific.
Forgot about that detail.
We've all just like adapted to it.
Like, that's really, like, the fact that it screams is really a low bar of horrific for this party. Really.
Oh god, you are the worst. All right.
You know, it's all about the screams that you don't hear.
Avenue nods as if that made any sense.
Yes, the screams in my heart. Avenue thinks.
Poor Avenue. All right. Okay, so I think, yeah, you are going to pull up to someplace tranquil. It feels tranquil. I think you pull up to like, there's this, actually, you pull up to an antechamber. And it's like, yeah, just a small cave. There's a corridor kind of leading inwards. And you go through this into this corridor. And it kind of like twists and turns a bit. And it's yeah, it just twists and turns as you kind of follow through. And there's like a moment where like, how long is this corridor gonna go? And kind of like almost like the moment any one of you thinks that, you emerge to this kind of tranquil place. There's grass underneath your feet. And you can come in, and again, you come to a place where it looks like there's no ceiling. You can tell if like you can't tell that you're underneath the earth. And yet there's like you're like on this like grassy platform, and I think kind of like blooming, or I think the platform's surrounded by like water. Actually, no, it's not water, it's blood. It's it's blood. It's like you hear the tranquil sound of water rushing, like in a water gardens, but it's blood, for sure. And I think this garden platform kind of extends forward, and you can see it goes up some steps, and it goes up to like this small hill, and there's like a cairn there, and from that cairn sprouts like these tubes of red vines vines. Because last session, obviously, you went through that vine forest, that blood forest, and like these tubes kind of sprout outwards, upwards towards the ceiling. Um, and actually, before you even get there, the first thing you kind of see that in the distance, but right in front of you, you hear this like squelching, and this smacking. And the thing you see is like this tall armored gnoll, kind of like very furiously hacking at something red and sinewy on the ground. It's some sort of creature, and then they do one last bang with their big hammer, and they just raise their arms and go, "Ha ha! You think the hearts, whatever the heart can throw at the great anathema, anathema can't throw back?" And then
This idiot again.
and do you say that out loud? Yeah.
Yeah.
They turn around and see. She turns around and sees like, yeah, the four of you. Just for Ludo's sake, because I've described her, she's like this rather tall, like 8 foot tall gnoll. Her armor looks like these like rusty rivets and sheets and whatnot. Looks like it's almost like they're sculpted on her. Like you can't tell how she gets in and out of this thing, of her armor. And yeah, she's spattered in blood. She kind of leaves her hammer like on the creature that she was squelching on, and she sees the four of you and says, "I was told to wait for delvers, for adventurers. What happened to that scrawny Vermissian punk that I... Well, if he had said anything more, I would have put him out of his misery, I suppose."
He never woke up.
Oh, sorry, Megan, what did you say as well?
No, that's why I was gonna jokingly point to our crow friend and just say, but you said it before me, so that's good.
I think, yeah, anathema lets out like a bark of a laugh. Typical.
Calixta's still a bit drunk, and she takes a puff from her pipe and just turns to Seraphine and goes, "I'm sorry, have we met this bitch before?"
Didn't you try and arrest her in the streets at one point?
Ha! I like her already. Ah!
Oh, right.
You said her crimes were very memorable, that you could never forget them. Or her hideous criminal face.
Now you hear a growling.
Oh, it does sound like something I'd say.
You say that to everyone. Ah!
Well, only, and I kind of give our little tunnel crow a pat on the head. Only those it's true of.
Salutations, fellow criminal. Apparently, you seem like a warrior.
Look, I really have to apologize for this, but some people did promise me payment for bringing you back dead or alive, and really it just seems a little bit easier to bring you back dead.
Well, it just so happens that I've also been promised quite a sum of money if I were to bring, and her eyes kind of land on you, Calixta, you back, preferably dead. After all, your master fervent is a man of their word, unlike yourself.
Look, we're just taking a little detour, and then we'll get the book to him.
Are there express orders not? Are there not? Did they not say that you were meant to destroy this poem and not let it be used for whatever it is you plan to do here?
Yeah, I might recall something along those lines. But you see, this is really more of your problem than it is my problem. Because it's my problem if you get back to tell him what I'm doing here. So it's really going to be your problem in that I can't let you get back.
I think they give another bark of a laugh, and they kind of like roll their shoulders as if to like say, "You see what lays by my feet?" And she kind of gestures at this thing, and you can tell it's this like, oh, I think Meglin, it sings to you, whatever this thing is. Even in its dying moments, it's this like you came here looking for like a song of the heart, and this is like this is as raw a piece of the heart as it could be. And Anathema says, the heart dared send a piece of it after your machinations. It sent an angel of its own make, and I beat it. I tore it apart limb from limb. I have proven that the heart bows to me.
Now that sounds like a mighty enemy, something to be proud of, huh? Now, what there is to beating some drow or something? I mean, look at them. They are in no way. What do you get from that coin? That is coin compared to the feeling of feeling a mighty beast. Now, all of us together imagine what we can hand. We can see.
Are you trying to turn her to the dark side?
Darker side.
Wow.
We can hand so much. We can make the secrets of the earth bow to us. Ah!
See, this is the voice that Darth Vader should have had.
Nah, I'm not gonna try to make the voice. Ludo's doing really well. Or if you want to try and convince her, sure. Yeah, she's pretty mercenary. The thing is, I don't think you have the skills or domains to you get one die. You get one.
And let me guess, this is more difficult.
Like I said, she's pretty mercenary, and I think what you're saying kind of strikes a chord. Like, yeah, she'd be the fucking angel. Why is she wasting her time?
One.
What? Really?
One, yes.
Oh shit. Really? Okay, all right. You're muted, Steven.
Sorry, man, if only you had taken those Fallout beats.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think. Oh man, I really had hoped you'd figure out another way to get through this without having to fight her, but I think they let her laugh.
That was very that was putting a lot more faith in us than we deserve, really.
Yeah. No, I again, Tea Party. I even provided a garden, but no. I think Anathema just kind of laughs and says that, see, the thing with having proven your strength, little crow, is that it doesn't matter what kind of victim is put in front of you. In the end, before me, everybody dies. Everybody just falls. And they take their hammer and they're gonna swing it around, and in that motion they're gonna hit you, Tunnel Crow, with a bit of that blood. And the weird thing with Angel's blood is it kind of seeks warm. It's like The Thing, you know that movie The Thing. It kind of like seeps through your armor, and you rolled a 1. Christ on the bike, you rolled a 1. Roll me a, I'll be nice. I'll still be nice. Roll me a d6.
4.
4. Okay, this is hitting your echo. So that's a 3. 9. So if you're lucky, there's a nice d12. Oh, you're terribly lucky. You don't get fallout. Yeah. So here's Anathema standing in front, and I think Seraphine. I think Seraphine. You see like the grave, kind of just behind her. You have one last horrible obstacle to get through.
And I think it's apt that she's talking about felling everything in front of her, as I'm going to use my beast tongue spell major ability thing to say that some sort of large blood serpent creature thing is coming up behind her.
Holy shit.
And since I have no echo stress right now, that's a major, I do it. I'll take 1 echo stress.
Okay. All right, cool. Put that in there. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put hers at the table. Would it be extremely funny if she gets in this battle stance and this horrible blood serpent just kind of plucks her off? Would it be extremely funny?
I mean, I sort of like it, but
Yeah. Okay. She's ranting about how I've beaten the heart itself. I've beaten everything any of you could ever stand for. What do you have? What can you possibly hope to unleash upon? And yeah, it's like the ending fight to Jurassic World. That's another terrible reference. I need to watch more movies. This slick thing that's almost like it looks as smooth as an artery serpent. I'm imagining like a horrible leech thing now. Pops out of the water and just grabs her. She drops the hammer and just and pulls her into the blood water, and she's gone. You're muted, Stephen.
Calixta just goes over, picks up the hammer, looks at it, and goes, guess this will have to do for proof.
sorry, I didn't have time, and it's complicated to translate into serpent. I was trying to say leave her head, but just didn't get across in the moment.
Come on, everyone knows the head is the juiciest part, huh?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We've been working with bodies enough. We know that by now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, we have been rating like how many bodies at this point of their blood.
Not that much. There was the brigand. There's
Cauldron.
your friend Cauldron. There's the dead drow. That
There's
heart.
the giant train-sized monster.
Oh yeah, that thing you ran the train into.
I mean, that's got to count for at least 5.
Yeah. Fucking blood. Yeah. I think
I
there's
think that we. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that we should go into tourism. We have the train. We have the fuel at this point.
We've got the fancy portals to go through.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The authentic
Alright.
heart experience.
Train, blood, and portals. Makes sense.
Yeah, the worst part is that probably only Alphears will have the meat. And I would rather die than work with the Alphears, to be honest.
All right. I think yeah. There's well, for you, Meglin, yeah, there's the bits of the most raw. She's not lying. The bits of the angel there is like, yeah, the most raw thing, and I think you feel that hunger again, Meglin. But we'll deal with that
Sure.
later. Yeah,
Mhm.
unless you want to do something right in front of your friends.
You know, I do have a beat to alienate a bond with my behavior, so totally. I won't have to dwell on it long, but I think, yeah, if it's a piece of some creature from there, either I'm just gonna like hold it to my ear, or something just very weird, to try and get familiar, taste it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you pick up its head.
Okay.
And imagining like it's this like it's like an ape's head, but no, it's like an ape's skull, but like it's like a what if what if the red skull was an ape, I guess is what I'm thinking. It's like an ape skull with like thin red skin, and you kind of just hold it up to your.
I think it's like Hamlet or something. I'm just like listening, I'm having a conversation with its head.
You hear the most beautiful song in the world. Like, of course, it's all worth it. Of course, it's worth
Yeah.
coming down here.
Piglin looks so peaceful and happy after all of this for a second, and it's pretty weird.
Okay.
Meglin, if you'd like some private time with that severed head, should the rest of us go?
No. We'll continue this conversation.
God. All right, I think
Gives you a thumbs up and goes on walking.
yeah, I think this is kind of where we wrap up. I'm gonna leave like the what happened. I'm gonna leave to like what happens when you sing this song, Seraphine, to your epilogue. See if it actually does what it does. But I think just like one last shot before you start singing. I think we could see the four of you standing around like this small cairn from which all these red tubes kind of have sprouted upwards towards Spire. And is there any last things people want to say before we go to epilogues, before we see what the consequences of this? Cool. Okay. So I think let's do epilogues, as in what we see in the future for each character. Start. Kind of gonna end with Seraphine, if that's okay with everyone. Because I kind of wanted to leave it, unless you all need the result of what happens here. You're muted again, Stephen. Stephen, you're muted.
Oh, I said knowing what's going on with the god at least would help me know what my epilogue is.
Okay, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's narrate what happens with the god, and then we'll go to everyone's epilogues.
Because that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I think I can do that, and it will cover Seraphine's epilogue as well. Because in that kill someone who's trying to stop you from claiming the knowledge. So I got a major beat, and I'm just going to go ahead and put in Zenith beat as well. Find the secret you've so desperately sought, as we find the queen's grave, and it's this I think this central like tree structure of all of these branching veins, and Seraphine sets up this ritual, draws sigils in the ground with her own blood. Anyone who's willing to help sing this song with her, she'll, ritually set up the book and start the song, and then pass it around if anyone else wants to join in. But as the ritual goes off, it was that like underlying rhythmic beating that Seraphine had heard before. Like all of reality starts compressing and expanding in rhythm with this song, to where everyone can feel it. Until just gonna go ahead and like storytell through that zenith beat, and the thing that would go along with it is the blossom ability. You throw open every valve and let the heart through. Any area you're in is treated as one weirder than it actually is, so tier 2 becomes tier 3, so on and so forth. There's actually a tier 5 that's unknowable. But then you blah blah blah. You can also once open a direct channel to the heart on your current location. This destroys you and pretty much everything around you, although we could say it protects the other people because the ritual. Turning it into a separating unreality. So maybe as the song reaches its crescendo, she like screams out at the rest of the group to run, as this tree like just shoots upwards and becomes one giant vein that connects up to the heart of the ceiling there, and this wave of blood comes torrenting out as she calls in this ritual the power of the heart directly into the grave of her goddess, and it destroys this form of her for now, but who knows what maybe actually became of Seraphine in the waking of the heart.
God, that's a lot of horrible stuff that happened all at once. Yeah. So yeah, let's go through each character. What's the last we see of them? Let's start with our lovely tunnel crow. What's the last shot we see of them?
And that's how the heart was awakened, and I was there.
And he finished telling to the other delvers on the campment. One of them says, "That's impossible. If that happened and you were there, why are you alive?"
I told you, I couldn't do anything. And that was not even the strongest thing that I fought that day.
Someone said, "I can't believe you beat that knoll with like just a flick of your wrist."
Yes, I did.
And it's like, and one of us like, "Is it true you powered that train with nothing but your sheer will?"
Yes, and a lot of beans of determination. Yes, red vermilion determination.
God. And all the other was like, yeah. It's a fucking great image. Meglin, what's the last we see of you?
I think Meglin found a taste of what they were looking for, and thinks about how the people above didn't really understand, but that they've kind of found a home here, and there's the temples of these old gods, and there's ghosts, and there's all kind of occult magical weirdness going on. But Meglin goes back to maybe that temple of the corpse god, and sees other people coming in seeking knowledge, and wants to show them the way. So kind of just says, "Let me show you the majesty of the heart," and opens up another glimmering portal and just kind of invites them to go in there and listen to the song and take it in. Just kind of sharing the wonders that they've discovered.
Of course, who wouldn't want to be able to feel what you feel? You seem selfish if you just keep it to yourself.
Right.
Calixa?
Yeah, I think we see Calixta appear to be destroyed with Seraphine as she goes to meet with Seraphine's god. And then kind of we flash over to the balcony of Judge Fervent Thesis as he stares out in the night from Spire. And then there's a lightning flash, and we see a hand overgrown with blood vines hold a pistol to the back of his head, and a half-human whisper, "Anything that you have, I can take." And then a gunshot.
Oh, that's fab. Oh, I feel good. That feels good. And last but not least, Seraphine. What's the last we see of you? If we even see any bit of you left.
So I think this whole area, after like the heart collapsed in on this area and the blood wave and everything, like it's just been decimated and destroyed. This sort of like broken blood tree there. I think it's probably like 10 years later on the anniversary of us going there. I think maybe Calixta at least has heard a call that something is coming, and just like out of the rubble and the destruction here, I think that blood serpent comes back through, sort of burrowing up out of the ground and circling the stump of this tree until the veins on it turn red and pulsing and grow out, and its skin shreds away. And standing up out of it is the like weird, the alternate form, the blood hag form of Seraphine crawling up out of the carcass, but literally just glowing with crimson light from her veins. Then it cuts.
Nice. A suitably horrific image to end this series of Heart. Oh man, I didn't even think of boss fights. I thought like, oh, it's another action figure you have to get. Blood hag Seraphine. I gotta have to collect them all. Sorry. Yeah. Oh god. Again, thanks very much, folks. You've all great, surprising, energetic, just ready to lean in with all that. I always want to get those words of praise, like at least on the recording. Anyone who's still watching this, these folks are great, and if y'all get a chance to play with them, well, you're in for a heck of a ride. I'll stop the broadcast now. Thanks very much, folks. If you want to check out the Gauntlet, links down below. If you want to check out everything else that Grant and Chris do, there'll be a link down below as well. I think you can still probably get the hard playtest if you sign up and check out Spire, all the stuff they do. But yeah, check out the Gauntlet and check out everything else I do. I realized I didn't introduce myself, so you don't know who I am. So you know what? I'm gonna leave that a mystery. I'm gonna stop the broadcast now. Oh, it's not a big mystery, but this YouTube channel has my name on it. I'm gonna stop the broadcast.